Hi, I'm Eric Blume, editor and publisher of Electric Perspectives magazine at the Edison Electric Institute. I'm here in San Francisco for EEI's annual convention, and I have the pleasure of sitting here with Lisa Wood, who is the executive director of the Institute for Electric Efficiency.
Hi, Eric.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. I wanted to ask you about the new bill, really, that is talking about adding more efficiencies, expanding the world for utilities in terms of energy efficiency as a part of their operations. Tell me, what has to happen to affect the changes in energy efficiency?
Well, I think one thing, as you probably know, I mean, the new bill specifies, well, the Waxman-Markey current draft specifies up to 5% energy efficiency as part of the renewable standard, and that can be moved up to 8% if the governor petitions for it. And that's actually, it seems like that might be a small number, but that's actually a huge number. Because today we have about 1.5% energy efficiency, meaning if you look at our total sales, kilowatt hours saved as a percentage of total sales, it's about 1.5%. So moving from that number to 5% is actually humongous, even though 5% itself seems like not a big number. And we have, as an industry, we've done energy efficiency for over 2 decades. And in some places we do a lot more than in other places. We have some sort of ways to do it and some regulatory structures in place. Those structures vary from state to state. I think the momentum and the way that we do energy efficiency has to change significantly. We need to do a lot more, and it has to get done a lot faster. And I think that's going to require some new sort of relationships between the utilities and the regulators, the state regulators.
How are those relationships working? What are utilities doing to improve those relationships and make those relationships work?
Well, I guess what I'm saying is that there's a process of getting programs approved for energy efficiency, and the speed of that process is not very fast. And I think that if we're really going to ramp up where we are with energy efficiency, that we need to streamline how we do it, and basically the length of the process from saying these are things that we propose to do to getting approval, regulatory approval to actually do those things. I also think that we probably need to think about this in a much bigger way, because we have opportunities now with new technologies around smart meters and home area networks and smart houses, where we can really change sort of how energy is managed inside the home, for example. And we don't even know what's possible. But in that environment, we want to allow innovation and things to move along. And we don't want everything to take such a long time to get to the next step. So I think we need to allow an environment that where moving faster and allowing new things to happen is an environment that promotes that. Right.
And we have to do that on the state level. For all sorts of utilities need to work on the state level for that. Are there some states that are working in better ways than others?
Well, that's a difficult thing to say, because each state and each utility working with each state commission has sort of their way of doing it. Excuse me. And you can look across the country and you'll see some states are doing a lot more energy efficiency. And that might be because, well, in large part, I mean, there has to be what we call a business model for energy efficiency that works, where it makes sense for the utility to invest in energy efficiency, just like it makes sense for utilities to invest in power plants. So the specifics of that can vary quite significantly from state to state. And the specifics do vary. But you can look at a state like Nevada, for example, that, say, 6-7 years ago, their business model changed for energy efficiency, and you can see a huge ramp up in how much energy efficiency they've done over the past 6 or 7 years. Very directly related to the regulatory framework for energy efficiency. So I think that figuring those things out on a state-by-state basis and creating the right model for your state is what it's all about.
Yes. What's the role of the Institute for Electric Efficiency in all of this?
Our role is to share information, to share best practices. Our industry is all over the place in terms of some utilities have been in this business for 20 years. Some utilities used to be in this business, got out of it, and are getting back into it with the federal legislation, looking at a lot more energy efficiency. We're really there to share information, share best practices, have people talk to each other. If you're focused on, say, one part of the market for energy efficiency and you're not sure what programs you should be doing for some other part of the market, we can help you do that. And we can tell you who to talk to and who's been successful with that. And it's very, as you know, I mean, because there are 50 states with 50 different ways of doing it and more utilities, there's lots there's not just a single way to run programs. So sharing information is very valuable. And we've done a lot of that. I mean, we've done a lot of that with just the usual mechanisms. I mean, meetings, workshops, phone calls, e-forums, just getting people to meet each other so they know they can call, somebody at, Duke can call somebody at Alliant or something like that, or vice versa. Very important.
How do you see the future of electric efficiency right now?
I think the key now is really the picture in my mind is sort of on the residential side, the smart house, the energy management, the ability to, plug in your electric vehicle, manage your life in a way that is not intrusive, but, when you walk out the door, your plasma TV goes off.
Right.
So that, it goes off from the plug, meaning it's not just, using all this energy. And it's not about running around your house and turning switches out or taking plugs out of the wall. I mean, it's just not, people aren't going to live their lives that way. It has to be automated. I mean, it has to be something that your house is programmed for your lifestyle. And it doesn't become, I think of it as, it used to be the Jimmy Carter put the sweater on. It's not that. It's about, I live a more high-tech life, and energy management is part of it.
Yes. Well, here's to the high-tech life, then. Thank you, Lisa, for speaking with us.
Thank you.
This is Eric Blume. Thanks very much.